You're early. Is that a good sign?
What's that they say about the early bird? Something about catching the worm?
I'd have thought cat and mouse would have been more your line.
Well, the games are over now, aren't they?
And now the battle begins.
Legally speaking, yes.
That's what the whole scam was about, wasn't it? Eh? You wanted the money so you could take me to court and get your company back.
Bullseye.
It'll take a long time.
Yes, and I'll win.
Of course. You know, I never believed you committed suicide. Did you know that?
Yes, Dennis told me.
Stephanie Harper doesn't give up.
Or give in.
I like that.
But you've lost. Shouldn't we be enemies?
It's not possible. I'm still in love with you.
Do you know the meaning of the word?
Do you? You've never met the right man, have you? In all those years. If you had, I wouldn't have seen that doubt cross your eyes just then. Oh, it was just a flicker. But it was there, wasn't it?
That'd suit you very nicely, wouldn't it? Marry me and get half the company back.
I'm not talking about the company, and you know it.
And just where does Jilly fit in with your little scheme?
She doesn't.
Oh, I see. Been there, done that. That's the way you operate, isn't it? The only reason you're hankering after me is the harder it is to get, the bigger the thrill. While it lasts.
It's not like that with you.
Oh, come on, Jake. I'd just be another notch in the gun belt. Thanks, but no thanks. I have other plans.
And no one to share them with.
I'll get a dog.
Lovely morning.
You taking credit or just making conversation?
How you feeling? I heard they called a doctor last night.
I wouldn't send a sympathy card just yet. When I want company at breakfast, I'll arrange it.
I have to talk to you.
I had a visit from the police this morning. They wanted a donation for the boys' club.
What are you going to do?
I never make major decisions until after lunch.
Come on, Jilly, I have to know.
I spent 7 years in prison sweating it out. Maybe a little practice wouldn't hurt you.
Where's Jake?
At the office. Maybe he's the one you should be worried about.
He won't go back on his word.
What makes you so sure?
Because he wants to stay on the right side of my mother.
Get out of here.
I just want to know what you're going to do.
Get out!
Jilly.
I said...
Jilly, no!
Get out!
Jono, I know I can never repay you for all you've done for me. But this comes with so much gratitude.
That's a lot of money.
It's only a fraction of what we made.
Money stolen from you in the first place. I can't take that.
Oh, don't be silly. You more than earned it.
You and I passed the money stage a long time ago. You know that, Steph. But if you're looking for a way to pay me back...
You don't give up easily, do you?
You can't blame a bloke for trying.
No.
You could at least put me on standby. Oh, what is it? Dan still?
No. But we did have some lovely years together, and I can't help but be sad that they're over. And what about you? What are you going to do about Tom?
Lay it on the line, I guess.
Well, you're going to have to, aren't you, for both of you?
Question is, how's he going to take it?
You'll never know until you tell him.
Bet he's not going to be too thrilled to find out that his old man is just a bum who wanders from scam to scam.
A pretty clever bum. And not a bad mate to have when the going gets rough.
Stephanie, my guards tell me Jilly is downstairs, asking to see you.
Let her go hang.
No, I'll see her.
Is that wise? She'll only try and hurt you.
I'm not going to hide from her.
Very well, but Jono must stay.
No. I'm in the driver's seat from now on.
Give her heaps. Miss Harper will see you now.
How kind. How much did she pay you to set me up?
Not enough. Considering what I had to do for it.
Sit down, Jilly.
Well, that was a nice little surprise you sprung on Dan and your kids. But then you never give a damn who you tread on. You're Stephanie God Almighty Harper. You always have to be top dog.
Being sisters, we're bound to have something in common.
You knew all along that lad was worthless.
You're so greedy, Jilly. You had it all, but it still wasn't enough.
I haven't finished yet. Do you imagine Jake and I are going to sit back and let this happen? Oh, you know me better than that.
The problem is you don't know me. You never did.
Oh, I know you. Max Harper's frumpy daughter. She got husbands because she was too dumb to know the only reason anyone ever forced themselves into bed with her was for the money. But you got smart. You married good old Dan. And he turned the ugly duckling into a swan. Oh, God, there's one born every day. But even he isn't going to last the distance, is he? He's found out, like all of us, that you're a fraud. The same frigid frump is still right there beneath the plastic surgery and expensive clothes.
Have you finished?
Oh, no. And I never will be. I'll make you pay for all the misery and humiliation you put me through. And I won't rest till I've destroyed everything you ever had or ever wanted. I hate you, Stephanie. And I'll bring you down. Even if it means spending the rest of my life behind bars. I hate you, do you hear me?
The feeling, Jilly, is entirely mutual. You did everything in your power to ruin my life. You hurt everybody I love. But I think possibly the worst thing you did was to drive a nice, kind man like Philip Stewart to kill himself. And that's something I'll never forgive you for.
You can't prove that.
Oh, I don't need to. You know it. And you're the one who has to live with it. And, Jilly, the older you get, the more it's going to haunt you.
You're a liar and a cheat. And I'll get even for what you've done to me.
I took steps to regain what was rightfully mine. I owe you nothing.
I'll see you rot in hell.
It was my father's dying wish that I acknowledge you as my sister. I've done that. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the contract is fulfilled. So you go back to Jake and you tell him from me, the battle's on and it's going to be a long and bloody war. Now, get out!
I want Stephanie Harper more than I've ever wanted anyone.
She rubs your nose in the dirt, sells you down the river, and you behave like a lovesick schoolboy. Dangerous.
You don't understand. You just don't get that sort of courage and class wrapped up like that.
Well, if you could win her over, she'd drop the lawsuit.
Don't you think of anything but dollar signs?
Well, somebody has to stay practical, and you are in big trouble.
I've got time on my side.
You've also got Jilly Stewart, and she's got enough evidence to hang you, unless you marry her.
Yeah, she'd do it, too. She'd do anything to keep me away from Stephanie.
Maybe Mrs. Stewart has served her purpose.
Forget it.
I doubt that anybody would miss her.
I'll get rid of her. My way.
Don't waste a lot of time thinking about it. It's the doers of this world who win.
Like your office? The air's a bit fresher than it is at Sanders Investments. But I don't think I've got a job there any longer, Jono. You seen this?
Yeah, she certainly rocked them on the heels, didn't she?
It'll be good to see Stephanie back where she belongs. What will you do?
Oh, I don't know. Got a few decisions to make.
Can I help?
No. You must have wondered when the truth came out that Tom wasn't Stephanie's son. I mean...
What are you trying to tell me, Jono?
I'm Tom's father.
You proved to be a very loyal friend of Stephanie. You've got every right to tell Tom the truth. Far be it from me to try and stop you. It's just that Well, Tom's had a rough time lately. I'm wondering how much more he can take.
Thanks.
I didn't mean that personally.
I've waited a hell of a long time for this moment.
Maybe too long, from Tom's point of view. How are you going to feel if it backfires? He's a fine boy. Don't want to see him hurt again.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Tom.
Well, look who it is. The orderly from the hospital. Fancy seeing you again. Kept trying to talk me into sure things on the races.
I was in the area. Thought I'd check you out.
Well, that's decent of you.
Besides, I owe you. One of those horses came in, paid 10 to 1.
Thanks. But I couldn't possibly. My father always told me never take money from strangers. Look, why don't I organize some coffee or something?
For me, thanks. I've paid my dues. I'll be on my way.
Nice seeing you again. Seems like a decent sort of bloke.
Yes, he is.
This is not going to work.
She'll back down.
I doubt it.
I think I'm a little more experienced with women than you, Anton. I'll handle Jilly. Having a party, Jilly?
Jake, I'm so glad to see you. Why didn't you wake me before you left this morning? You could have at least said goodbye.
I've come to say it now. For good.
I'm not in the mood for your games, not today.
No, it's simple. I marry you or I go to jail. Jail wins. My God. Your face. And you're bluffing, aren't you? You don't plan to go to jail. You couldn't stand it. And if the police see those photographs, you'll be up to your neck in it.
You're going to her, aren't you?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to hell. And that's what marrying you would be. Goodbye, Jilly.
No, Jake, you can't go. I won't let you.
I said goodbye.
I'll kill you. If I can't have you, neither can she.
You'll go to prison. All right, Jilly. You're upset. We'll talk. But put the gun down.
I'll do it. I'll shoot you, just as I did your brother.
I said we'll talk. But not with that gun waving in my face.
Don't come any closer.
All right. But put the gun down.
No! I'll kill you! Not kill Stephanie! Jake, no, please. Jake, please!
What happened?
Mrs. Stewart and I were just saying goodbye.
Jake! Jake! I love you.
That woman is very dangerous.
I know.
What are you going to do?
Think twice about shooting Stephanie.
She's gone over the edge.
Get rid of her. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. Today.
Hello. This is Jilly Stewart. Could you please ask the doctor to call me at Eden as soon as possible? I'm feeling very ill. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, I'm off to rehearsal now.
Well, I'm going to the stud farm shortly. I'll give you a lift.
No, I'm all right.
Have a super rehearsal.
Yeah.
Hey, Angelo, come on. Stop worrying. Sarah has made a complete recovery. Now, that's official.
Things aren't going so well, Dan. All this business about Tom.
It'll all work itself out for the best.
We need our own place. Oh, don't misunderstand me. I mean, it's been great to be able to stay here, but we need a home of our own.
Yeah, I agree. You do need your own place. But what about money?
I've worked that out. I'm going back to boxing.
Oh, Angelo, you told me that when Eddie King died, you never wanted to fight again.
Things have changed.
Don't. It isn't worth it.
Sarah's going to have the best. The kind of life she's been used to.
Look, Sarah doesn't care about money or any material thing.
I care for her. And you can't tell me she doesn't miss the sort of life she had at Eden. Just a couple of big fights, Dan. That's all it'll take.
Maybe. But at what cost to you?
I think that's just taking care of the high blood pressure. Starting your own blood bank.
We'll know that when we get the tests through.
How soon will that be?
We'll treat them with priority. Meantime, I'd like you to get as much rest as possible. Whatever you do to relax, do more of it.
Oh, I will, Doctor. And, thanks for coming so promptly.
Oh, you got lucky. Surgery finished early.
You'll ring me as soon as the test results come through?
Yes. Meantime, stop worrying. I don't think it's anything too drastic.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Stephanie Harper, please. It's all very cut and dried for you, isn't it?
I thought that was what you wanted.
I want Dan to be happy.
Well, that's up to you now, isn't it?
You could help.
What on earth do you mean?
Dan's been so angry and bitter about it all. I can't reach him anymore. I don't know how he feels.
He's shocked. I'm sorry it had to be that way.
It's more than that. You've been married to him for 7 years. You know him so much better than I do. I don't know what's going on inside his head, but I think you might.
You really do love him, don't you? He's entitled to feel angry about me. I'm sorry it's hurting you, but he'll get over it. You just have to be patient.
I don't think that's the answer.
Then what is?
It's something he has to sort out right now. And the only person he can do that with is you.
I'm a little confused. You want him so much, and yet you're trying to throw us together.
I don't want part of Dan's love. I want all of it. And right now, he doesn't know how he feels about either of us.
You're taking a very big chance.
I'm talking about how I'm going to spend the rest of my life. And I'm not prepared to sit around indefinitely to find out.
You want me to talk to him?
Yes.
What will you do if he decides that he wants to come back to me?
Get on with my own life, the best I know how. He'll be at the horse stud.
Good to see you back, Miss Harper.
Thanks, Nick.
Careful, he's been biting a bit lately.
Taking after his new owner, is he? Revenge. Well, he's aptly named.
Well, I don't know about that. But he's fast. He'll give your fella a good run for his money in the Melbourne Cup.
Mrs. Stewart's ended him, has she? I don't know why. I think she's on a losing streak lately. Is Dr. Marshall about?
He's been watching Tara's pride work out. Beautiful horse. Hope he wins the cup for you.
Thanks. I'll take a look. Behave yourself. I want to talk to you.
Haven't we said it all before?
Perhaps. But in anger, and that never really achieved anything.
How did you expect that I'd feel?
Exactly the way you feel. I didn't come here to make excuses.
You obviously didn't come to apologize either. But then the Harpers never do that, do they?
Yes, when they're wrong. I wasn't.
You never are. It's just the ordinary folk like me who don't understand your higher level of thought.
Dan, we had a lovely time together. Let's not pretend it didn't happen.
I'm getting old, Steph. My memory isn't what it was.
Well, mine's in great shape, and I'll never forget what you did for me.
It just got a little boring for the high-powered business tycoon, right?
I'm not the stay-at-home aprons and slippers type. I tried. I really tried. But it just wasn't enough. I need a challenge. That's what makes me tick.
Regardless of who gets hurt in the future.
Now, I had every right to fight for the company that I was cheated out of. I did it the only way I know how, and I make no apology for that. I'm proud of what I did. I couldn't change, even if I wanted to, and I don't.
We should have had this conversation 7 years ago.
Why? I don't want to wipe out those years. And I rather hoped you wouldn't. But I'd be a liar if I said we had a future together.
Well, that about wraps it up, I guess.
Dan, Jessica loves you very much. She can give you the kind of life you want.
I accept the fact that you're finished with me. But I don't need you to plan the rest of my life.
Now, hang on a minute. I care a great deal about what happens to you. It matters to me that you get the happiness that you deserve and that I could never give you.
You know, somehow I think you almost mean that. Well, maybe it's because your name is Harper that somehow it sounds so damn patronizing.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so am I.
I wonder how many times we've said that to one another.
The funny thing is, I think we both always meant it.
You deserve your freedom, and I want mine too. But please, let's try and be friends. I'm too old to change doctors now.
How was he?
Tara's pride? Great. Stephanie was there. She, wanted to talk.
Oh, yes?
It took me back to when I first met her. She was terribly scarred and frightened then. And yet underneath it was that tremendous courage and an amazing honesty. It's the same kind of strength I saw again today.
You're getting back together again, aren't you?
No.
But...
She really gave it to me straight from the shoulder. And that wasn't easy at first. It hurt my pride. Her being the one to lay it on the line and tell me why it wouldn't work.
You asked her to try again?
No, I wasn't given a chance.
Did you want to?
I wasn't sure at first. And then I realized that she was right. I think we're poles apart. When she needed me, we made it work. There's got to be more than that. And we both know it.
What are you going to do now?
Let it go. And hopefully we'll stay friends.
I'm glad.
So am I. Because it's given me another chance to find happiness. With you.
Are you sure?
I could never be more sure of anything.
There is a time for tears for all of us.
Always ruining your suits.
That's better.
I've been talking to Dan.
It is over. Is that what you want?
It was my idea. So why am I crying?
For the impossible. For what might have been. A very human failing.
I know it's right. I just suddenly felt so alone.
Shall I bore you with another proposal? I think not. You would say no, and then I might cry a little too. Besides, it is not another man in your life that you need, but another challenge.
Amal, you always know the right thing to say at exactly the right moment.
My sister would not agree with you.
Will you do something for me?
Ask.
Try to let Talitha have a little more freedom. I just can't bear to think of her shut off from all the things she loves in life.
I will try. And she, after being with you, will undoubtedly insist. You no longer need me here. I'm going home. But I will always be with you. You understand this?
Yes. I understand this. I feel so comfortable with you.
Is that a compliment? I'm not certain. There is one thing we should speak about. The child that was born to us.
Oh, no. After the way Tom reacted, I just don't know.
I accept that. But it would be good to know my son. Our son.
I would like to give it a little more thought.
It shall be your decision. But you will let me know in time.
Yes, of course. Oh, I shall miss you.
Perhaps.
How'd you go?
Fine.
I have explained to Stephanie. Talitha and I are about to take our leave. You are, of course, welcome to use this place as long as you wish.
Oh, you're kind, thank you.
We must go so soon.
Indeed. You do not wish to go home?
Yes, of course.
A pity. I thought we might perhaps travel around Australia before returning.
Oh, I would like that so much.
Good. Then it is settled.
Do you think you can plan your trip so that you're in Melbourne to see Tara's Pride win the cup?
Without question.
Oh, how exciting. If we are to travel the country, should we not have with us someone who knows it well? Like Jono?
Well...
It would be good to have a bodyguard who also can show us the true country.
We are certainly in your debt, Jono. Would you care to accompany us?
I'd love to.
Too sleepy for a little refreshment?
When did you get here?
Oh, not long ago. You were dozing, so I made us a drink for when you awakened.
A bit unusual, isn't it? You and I sharing a social moment.
I wanted to talk to you while Jake was still at the office.
Why?
Well, we've had our ups and downs, but quite frankly, I'd rather deal with you than Stephanie Harper.
We should have had this conversation months ago.
Oh, it's not too late. You'll have to admit I was very helpful in acquiring the Harper company.
Oh, you're smart. I'm not denying that.
Oh, it's good. I needed it. I've had a long, hard day at the office.
Yes, it is good.
You see, I think I've come up with a way that we can block Stephanie Harper. And maybe even do something about that land swindle.
Anton, I think we've just found a common cause. Jilly Stewart. Oh, right. Yes. Put him on, please. Oh, thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Jake Saunders?
Jake, it's me. Jilly. The doctor just phoned and I've got the most marvelous news. Jake, I'm pregnant. We're going to have a baby.
Oh, come on, Jilly. First the high blood pressure, and now you're suddenly pregnant. Enough games.
It's true. The tests were absolutely positive. Oh, Jake, I'm so happy. You do want a child, don't you?
Yes. This is for real, isn't it, Jilly?
Oh, yes, 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 of course. Oh, Jake, come home. We've got to celebrate.
Jilly, is Anton there?
Yes, he arrived a little while ago.
Listen.
Come to the office right away.
We've got to talk about this.
In my condition? Oh, no, Jake. Come home now. Anton and I are already celebrating. In fact, I think it's gone to my head.
Jilly. Don't hang up. Jilly!
Are you all right, Mrs. Stewart?
Yes, I'm all right. Just a bit. I better...
No. I'll get that. In a minute. Here. Drink this. It'll help.
What are you doing?
Something Jake should have done a long time ago.
A drink? You poisoned me.
No, just a strong sedative, so you'll have a nice, long sleep. Don't worry.
Jake.
Don't worry, Mrs. Stewart. It will look like an accident. Jake will be fine.
He knows about the baby.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
Please.
Well, maybe we can make a little bargain. Where are those photos and that affidavit?
No, you can't have them.
I don't want to drown you, Mrs. Stewart, but if you won't give me what I'm asking for, you leave me no choice.
You just want to take Jake away from me.
Exactly. This is your last chance. The photos?
The bedroom, the music box.
Oh, very good. And the affidavit?
The shoe.
Good girl.
Oh, help me.
Good night, Mrs. Stewart.
hell are you doing? Shh. Come on.
Are you out of your mind? I had it all fixed.
She's carrying my child.
Oh, she's lying. Anything to hang on to you.
I don't think so, and I'm not prepared to take that risk.
What difference does it make?
It makes a difference to me.
Great. So she calls the police, and I've had it.
I'll handle that. Now, you disappear, and I'll meet you back at the office when I've worked things out here.
Oh.
Good.
Just stop her talking to the police, okay?
I will.
Where's that room service menu?
Come on. You don't have to hide anymore. Let's hit the town.
Oh, I'm not in the mood. You go.
Can't do that. I'm supposed to be a watchdog, remember?
I'll be all right.
You mean you'll feel safer with me out of the place? You're quite right. My intentions are strictly dishonorable.
Come on, calm down. You've had an accident, but you're all right now.
Anton tried to kill me.
Anton? Why should he do that? You're confused.
I'm not. He tried to drown me. I've got to ring the police.
No, I can't let you do that, Jilly.
I know what happened. I've got to ring...
No! He's got us over a barrel. He's got the photos and the affidavit. He'll use them if he has to. Make no mistake about that.
We've got to do something.
I have. I've paid him to clear out for good.
But he tried to kill me. How can you trust him?
Like everyone, he has his price.
You put him up to it, didn't you?
What, then jumped in and rescued you? Does it make sense?
Why?
He saw a chance to take us and he grabbed it. Don't worry, I'm paying him plenty to keep his mouth shut. Come on.
You are pleased about the baby.
Of course I am. I want a son to carry on the Sanders name.
If I'm going to have your child, you'll have to marry me. You'll marry me, Jake. Or there won't be any child. Do I make myself clear?
Okay. We'll talk tomorrow. Now try and get some sleep.
Don't leave me. I don't want to be alone.
All right. Try and rest.
We've still got the goods on Dennis. We're not finished with Stephanie yet.
We'll talk tomorrow.
You'll see it my way. We have to stay together now.
Sure.
Well?
There'll be no police. But you're going to have to leave town.
Why did you interfere? She's pregnant. So what?
I'm not going to kill my own child.
A great time to get paternal. You want a kid, so she wins after all.
Kid? No, not a kid. A son. An heir.
Even more of a tie to her.
Only till the baby's born. After that, Jilly is dispensable.
Well, leaving you free to chase Stephanie again.
If I had Stephanie, Jilly could just drop dead.
Still playing that game. But what about me? How do I fit into your plans now?
Anton, you've been very well paid for a long time. I don't think you've got anything to complain about. You'll remain on the company payroll, under an assumed name, of course.
For as long as you have the company. I don't think that's exactly something to build my future on, Jake. See you around.
Room service, Miss Harper.
Oh, thank you. I'll be right out.
Miss Harper's expecting me. Don't let me keep you.
I didn't anticipate coffee for two.
I didn't come for coffee.
There's nothing else offering.
I thought these might help you sleep a little better.
Is this all the evidence against Dennis?
The computer files relating to the embezzlement have been wiped. He's in the clear. I gave my word and I've kept it.
Thank you.
Did you know Jilly was pregnant?
My God. Does she know who the father is?
I am. If I don't marry Jilly, she's going to get rid of it. I want a son.
So the power-hungry Jake Sanders is human after all? Or is it just the old male ego at work?
It goes a lot deeper than that.
When's the wedding?
That depends on you.
Oh, Jilly wants me to be matron of honor. Isn't that sweet?
You know what I mean.
Sorry, you've lost me.
Have I? Last chance, Stephanie. I'll walk out on Jilly tomorrow. She can do what she likes with the child if I can have you. And the son you'd give me. Think of the children we could have, Stephanie.
The Sanders dynasty.
What's wrong with that?
You are, Jake. Thanks all the same, but I'll settle for Harper mining. My coffee's getting cold.
Okay, if that's the way you want it, fine. But if you want the company, you're gonna have to fight me for it.
Jake, you haven't got a chance and you know it.
Oh, we'll see. If I can't have it, I'm gonna make damn sure it's not worth a thing by the time you get it back. You did the frigid bit very well. Still, I suppose you've had a lot of practice.
Oh, why don't you just run home to Jilly?
She was right, you know. Underneath all that Harper money and the style, there isn't a real woman at all.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I'm not after trick questions this morning, mate.
Let me spell it out. You were supposed to be keeping an eye on Mum.
That was when I could still see.
She had a visit from Jake last night while you were getting a skinful.
What did he want?
What do you think?
She all right?
Mum can look after herself. Just as well, I'd say.
Take it easy,
You're
Jilly.
up to something.
Now, come on. The doctor said you mustn't get worked up. Now, sit down. Now, do you want some water or a cup of coffee or something?
No. You've no intention of marrying me, have you?
Now, come on. We've been through all that. Sit down. I was just on my way to Eden to discuss the arrangements.
Really? When I woke up this morning and you weren't there, I'm still very shaky after what happened with Anton.
Yes, well, forget about that. Don't worry. I've fixed all that. So how about next week? I couldn't make it any earlier.
Next week? What about the catering, the invitations, my wedding dress? Oh, Jake, I want this to be something really special.
No, Jilly, no big wedding.
All right. Whatever you say. Oh, I wish Stephanie could be there. I'd love to see her face.
Stephanie's out of our lives forever. Is that clear?
It'll be a boy, Jake. I just know it.
It better be.
It will be. Trust my maternal instinct.
I'm sorry I wasn't here.
No harm done. And you're not my keeper, Jono.
Even though I keep trying.
Maybe you should stop wasting your time. Unless, of course, you find frigid women a challenge.
Jake accused you of that. I bet he did. You knocked him back. You don't want to take any of that seriously.
I know.
So, what's the problem?
Maybe there isn't a problem after all. But I am curious to know why my relationships with men always end in disaster.
You marry them, and that's asking for trouble. Particularly given the kind of men you and your money attract.
Men like you mean? You didn't exactly ride out of the north wanting to share my poverty.
But I would now.
Oh, you mean I have to lose my money again to get you?
Oh, when you put it like that, doesn't sound such a bargain.
Well, whatever happens to us, Jono, I'm very glad to have known you.
Me too. But never mind us for the moment. What happens to you?
I don't know.
Maybe you should think about it. Otherwise, you could end up as the princess in the tower. Brilliant, beautiful, rich, totally alone.
I trust you're not suggesting that to be happy I have to have a man.
I wouldn't dare. But you do deserve to be loved.
I have things to do.
Like what?
All the things I can't put off any longer.
And then, right when we thought we'd had it, Jono wheeled the corpse right down the corridor, right under Jake and Jilly's nose.
I don't believe it.
Well, well, speak of the devil. I'll be right back. Hi, Auntie Jilly. A little pre-wedding celebration, is it?
Why not?
They tell me there's going to be 3 at the altar. Smart work, Auntie Jay. There's one thing that Jake wants more than anything. It's a son to carry on the Sanders name. It's not going to mean much when there's no company, though, is it?
Would you like me to go to the police on your behalf, before or after lunch?
Sorry, that's one boat you've missed. Didn't you know? Dear old Jake handed over the evidence to Mum. No strings. Just a nice gesture between 2 very good friends. But he told you that, of course.
He no doubt had a very good reason for doing it.
Oh, yes. A last-ditch effort to try and make it with Mum, I'd say. I guess she must have turned him down, or we wouldn't be hearing wedding bells, would we?
Run along, Dennis. Jake will be here in a minute.
Give him my commiserations. Funny, I never thought he'd settle for second best. But I guess he figures that being Mum's brother-in-law is the next best thing. Still in the family, if you know what I mean. I'd go easy on those bubbles if I were you, Jilly. In your condition.
Oh, John, I keep thinking about my son.
I thought that was it.
Where do I start after all these years?
Same place I did. My sister.
Do you think she'd help?
You're the only woman who ever knocks me back.
I'm scared, Jono.
I was too. But I'm glad I know how he turned out.
But what if he doesn't want to know me?
I'll straighten him out.
My hero.
You let him walk all over you.
Dennis is okay. He's a bit smart sometimes, but he's okay.
As long as we had that evidence on Dennis, we still had a hold on Stephanie.
I didn't want to drag him into it.
Come on. You used him to make a last pitch for Stephanie. Dennis was the bait.
You got it all wrong again, as usual.
Don't treat me like a fool. We're not married yet. And unless you get Stephanie Harper out of your head, I won't be tying the knot or having your precious son.
Hi, sis.
Sister Bernadette to you.
Bernie, I'd like you to meet Stephanie Harper.
How do you do? Jono's told me a great deal about you. All of it good.
Lucky for him. Please, come this way. We'll talk in my office. I was surprised to get your call from the airport. You didn't give me much notice.
I never do.
I did suggest that we telephone before we do.
Jono takes pride in turning up unexpectedly.
And you're dying to know why we've come.
I know it's not because of Tom, unless you've decided to tell him that he is your son.
No, that decision stands.
I asked Jono to bring me here, sister, because I need your help to find my son.
There's little I can do.
I just want to know that he's alive and that he's all right.
You can go that far, surely.
What if he doesn't know he's adopted and he's happy?
Well, I wouldn't want to change that. But if he does want to find out who his real mother is, I just want him to be told that I'd really love to see him.
I think that's a reasonable request, but it will take time to make the necessary inquiries.
You can hurry things along a little bit.
Just because I'm dressed in this habit doesn't mean that I can perform miracles. Come back tomorrow, Miss Harper. Perhaps by then I'll have some news of your son.